Visiting the most crowded island on Earth. Alright, it looks kind of fun. Let's see what's this guy all about.
Santa Cruz Del Islote has an area of just 1% of a square kilometer in size, where 816 people squeeze their entire lives. The island is so full that a guy does his daily workout routine near a dog feces, and chaotic life here creates new adaptations. Since we arrived on the island, we've been constantly—
Bro, he just yoinked a sea turtle out of the sea. I would not think that the sea turtles coming up to you. If you're sitting around and you're pulling up sea turtles every day, why would they come near you? I mean, unless this goes super quick. That was kind of cool though. I'm not gonna lie. Hopefully he put it back. Hopefully he must have put that back.
Each house here has dozens of people living together in tiny rooms.
How many people live in this room?
About 10.
This is an average room of an average house. You will be shocked when you see how other people live. But these people have a much bigger problem than these houses, which makes life so extremely terrible here.
Welcome to the most densely populated island on Earth.
A 2-hour boat ride away from—
It looks super small. I mean, let's just like 1% of 1 kilometer squared, he said, right? I mean, it is miniature. They're on some like reef thing. So I guess that makes sense why there was a turtle around. But yeah, these houses, that tiny room for 10 people. Whoa. That kind of looks fun. I actually wouldn't mind going. It kind of looks fun. But also looks stressful. And he said they had big problems. So I want to see what they are. Wild guess is going to be space.
Homes here tell the story of the island. Let's get inside one now.
Can we see inside your house?
Yes, you may. See, I don't have anything. Sorry, it's a little dark inside.
We don't have electricity here.
You can see that they have some laundry work in the hallway and they leave them to dry in this open area. Let's start with this room. Homeowner says 10 people share these 3 beds together.
Oh my goodness. Okay. This is rough. I mean, 10 people in this room. I'm struggling with this one, I can't lie. Like, that is, how do you sleep? As in, like, I'm not just being difficult and kind of saying that from my Western perspective, but genuine question, like, how many people? I mean, 10. I see. She said between 3 beds. I mean, what that's like 3 and a third people, obviously. So 1 bed's got 4, and then 2 others got 3. 3 people in 1 bed. That's cramped. That is actually cramped. Like, whoa.
Kids used to sleep here. Since it is too hot, we take the mattresses out of the room because there is no electricity.
7 kids are living in this room alone. They're making use of every bit of space, even the walls. Because they don't own a wardrobe, their clothes, shoes are all over the place. The kitchen is far from being clean because of the water shortage. People use water only for drinking. All other reasons have to be disregarded. Almost any time on the street—
Oh my goodness. Okay, water shortage. I didn't even think about that one. I mean, yeah, they have to import every single thing they need, right? I mean, they can obviously fish, but like propane to get the gas cooker going, water, fresh water has to be imported. Most other food, I guess, like any fruit, plants, vegetables, imported. All these breaks imported. So this seems like almost they need like everything. So this is wow. I don't know how they do it.
People are striving for comfort in their little space.
Is this her own house or is she on a rent?
My own house.
What is the average rent here?
There are some who pay rent because there are people who are not from here. They pay $50 to $75. Usually the only utility they pay for is electricity.
There is a crowded family here.
How do they make money? Like, is it not too small to have like an actual economy? Because they have to, as a group, I guess. Do I call it an island? An island? They need to import everything. So, how are they making money? Like, obviously, you have to sell stuff, but that's just, I mean, there's a lot going on here. And it's kind of rough. Like $75 is not a lot for us, right? For rent, let's say for a month, whatever. But I guess if you're actually in poverty, like that is a lot.
They gave the 2nd floor to their married children so that they can stay there.
It seems they have a communal life here. For you to have a better understanding how small this island really is, I came to the furthest side of it and I will walk to the other side. And while doing that, I'll start a timer. Let's see how many minutes it will take. We're trying to find our way among the maze-like narrow streets. Privacy is impossible here because with every step we pass through someone's life. Kids dominate this island's population. Even a space of 4 or 5 steps turns into a vast playground in the imagination of these children. Island has 1 school, 1 church, 1 clinic, 1 hotel, 1 restaurant, and 3 markets. 200 years ago, none of these streets, this chaos, garbage, mosquitoes, and the people were here. According to a legend, some fishermen discovered this island and spent the night here when it was too late to return. Then they decided to settle here with their families after sleeping well without mosquitoes. It was later artificially enlarged by compressing coral rocks, seashells, and waste year after year.
It took less than 2 minutes.
We met a
Oh my goodness, less than 2 minutes to walk the whole thing. And they compressed corals and rocks to literally expand the island. So there is like, if they dig down in, like, for example, the center, there is going to be sand, but I'm assuming like the outer bounds of it are just concrete sitting on, like, concrete foundation sitting on the rocks, which, wow, okay, so they can expand, I guess, but I don't know if they need to. They've got 1 of everything as well, like 1 church. I guess, to be fair, that's actually quite a lot. Like 1 church, 1 hospital, one clinic or something. And then three markets. That's insane. But like 1 of each on a football pitch it's not a lot of space.
We are blessed to be located on the world's 2nd largest coral reef with its amazing sea life. Waves that rise 20 to 30 meters in the open ocean are reduced to merely 25 to 30 centimeters when they reach our shores. Look, all that you see around the island, up to 5 or 6 miles off the coast, is surrounded by pure coral. We're safe here.
How many people live here?
2 families live here. Each family consists of 6 members, 12 people in total.
Where is the kitchen?
The kitchen. The stove goes here. That's not a problem. We cook with propane gas.
Dogs can't grow anymore once they hit a certain size because of not getting enough nutrition. Life here is really limited for every creature. Here, we meet the nurse who has helped almost everyone come into the world healthy.
40 years of delivery.
Oh my goodness, yeah, I didn't even think about that. There's 1 nurse who's delivered like all of the children, which is kind of a crazy thought. I mean, I understand, like, you want to stay within your community. You want to, everyone, it's really tight knit and it's difficult. And you see all the films about like the small town guy and the big corporate girl, and they meet and then they decide to stay in the town and all that because it's charming. But would you not want to leave? I don't know. Like, there is a whole world out there to be explored, and to not see it seems like a shame. Like, I understand the means are difficult, but would you? I think I'd at least try and make an effort, instead of just planting myself on this concrete island. But maybe that's just my perspective.
Delivering babies.
How many babies?
Oh my goodness, I've lost count. I don't even remember. Most of the youth in this town pass through these hands that you see. I delivered almost everyone on this island, and now I'm delivering even their children's children. And I've never had a baby die. Little children with vomiting, a high fever, or diarrhea come to me. I tell them what to do or which medicine to take. I'm like a doctor. Everyone knows me here.
The lack of modern healthcare services on the island poses a risk in emergency situations. But as you will understand by the end of the video, their real problem is so much more vital. By the way, according to the locals, the average life expectancy on the island is 85 to 90 years.
My sister died at the age of 103.
People get to go beyond these limits only after they...
That's actually quite a decent life expectancy. Like, let's not to get it twisted right now. They are a concrete island on some coral, and 80 to 90, that's pretty good. It's pretty good. I mean, I guess their diet is healthy if they're eating like seafood and stuff, and they keep them busy with sports. I have no idea, but hey, that's better than I was expecting, if I'm going to be completely honest.
They lose their lives because there is no cemetery on this island where people can bury their loved ones, as there is no land to dig. After the corpses are toured around the square with a ceremony, they are then taken to the mainland by a boat and buried there.
There is no family planning, and the population keeps growing rapidly.
How many kids do people usually have?
Here, from 2 to 5.
Family life here is uniquely laid back. Most of the couples are together without any official marriages. Also, it's not unusual for people to have kids with more than one partner, but that's part of life here.
Is she married?
Whoa, okay. So it's a very free society, I guess is one way to put it. I mean, I guess that kind of works because everyone's locked in. Everyone like has to kind of get on and like just it's more like a one big family rather than individual family units, I guess is the way to think about it. It's all one big community, but that is kind of weird. Like, surely you would lose track of whose child is whose, and then whose dad is whose, and then that could lead to some dangerous situations in the future. I'm not gonna like spell it out more than that, but maybe there needs to be a bit more family planning because there's not. To be real, there's not a lot of space, and if everyone keeps having 2 to 4 children, then that's gonna kind of go a bit crazy.
I have a husband, but I'm not married.
Oh, really?
Which means it's all free union. Free.
Also, people don't care about their personal...
I'm sorry, you've got a husband, but you're not married. I don't even know what to say. I'm kind of stumped. Let's see what...
The real struggle begins with the obtaining of drinking water, as there is no tap water in here. As you see, they gather the rainwater with these pipes. Not even a single drop of water is wasted.
Drinking water? We suffer a lot. There, below the health center, we have a community tank that we call the lung of the island. When it rains, the joy is so immense here that we go partying that day. Here, the drought scares us so much. It takes 7 to 8 months to get some rain here. We store that precious liquid and then we distribute it to all the families equally without skipping anyone. The Navy sees the problem we have here. They let the mayor's office use their ships so that they could bring us some water. This helps a lot.
Now we have some...
That's really tough. That is really tough. Like having to wait 6 to 7 months, not knowing when the rain is going to come, and then just like having it pull down on you and thinking, "Wow, I'm actually going to be able to drink now," which is crazy. That must be a lot of relief. But no, I feel like they are just fighting so hard to survive. When if they were to all move, they might have an easier life, but I understand that's really controversial. You can't just move people out of their homeland. I'm not advocating for it as well. Like, it obviously would be their choice if they come or go, but it just doesn't seem like they're choosing an easy place to live. Is kind of my point, you know?
Also, the island doesn't have any sewage system. Even though rain means good news in terms of water supply, rainfalls are bringing life into the edge of a chaos. Since the enlarged areas of the island are not solid, hurricanes or a heavy rain makes houses and streets unusable.
What does he not like about this island?
The only bad thing is the rainy season. When it rains, the tides rises. All these streets are flooded with seawater. More in September and October. During those months, if these houses didn't have these raised floors, the rainwater would enter the rooms.
Keep in mind that they are also without electricity during these seasons.
We are at the heart of Santa Cruz Del Islote. This is the only monument on the island, and it is called La Patrona.
Monument protects us from hurricanes.
We are inside the small church of this settlement. It seems like it needs some repairing.
Are you the priest?
I am the leader.
There are many young kids on this island. What will their future be like?
After they finish primary school, they don't go on to further studies. Their parents don't have the means to send them to the mainland.
So there are 240 students on this island and 12 teachers.
Welcome to
12 teachers, actually, you know, that's actually a fair amount of teachers. But I guess if you don't plan on leaving the island, you'd probably be better off learning like skills, like how to make stuff with your hands, or fishing, or kind of that, like diving or stuff like that. So it makes sense. I mean, if you're going to come back with a law degree, it doesn't even seem to have a courthouse. So I don't know how that's going to work. But yeah, that's kind of rough, I guess. Education, I think, is one of the most important things. So it's good they're getting like a basic education though. That's very good.
to the only school on the island.
This is a classroom for the grade 1. Since there is no school in the neighboring islands, students from there also come here, and their school service is of course a boat. Every young boy here loves playing soccer, even the girls.
What do you want to become when you grow up?
A soccer player.
Where do they want to play?
In Madrid. The Paris team. In Argentina.
Locals are earning their living by tourism. Qualified as a national park, the island charges $2.5 from the tourists for the entrance. With the arrival of these hundreds of tourists every day, a much bigger chaos appears on the streets.
For us, tourists are a blessing from God. They are a source of employment, directly or indirectly.
I'm a bartender.
What is the average salary or profit for a person here?
It depends very much on the season. There is a guy who goes diving. If he's lucky, he can make $30 per day. If there are a few tourists, he can only earn $15. A bartender, depending on the tourism season, after expenses and paying workers, can make $50 per day.
This is if they can attract foreigners.
That's really good. I mean, you know, if you think about rent $75 a month, I guess. $30 a day, that's you know, rent is 2-3 days. Why not? But yeah, okay. I hadn't thought of tourism. When I asked the question earlier in the video of like, well, how do they make their money? How does their economy run? Yeah, of course, duh, it's tourism. That was a silly question. But wow, so they like heavily rely on tourism though. And that must get so crowded. Like unbelievably crowded.
Foreigners. Here there is an aquarium built for tourists where locals keep fishes, sea turtles, and even sharks in a very limited space. Famous for allowing tourists to swim with these animals, this place significantly contributes to the local economy. Fishing is very important as well, but the people don't really value what the environment provides for themselves. The islanders now have to import fish because of marine pollution and overfishing.
When you go out fishing, you no longer catch the same amount of fish. That is to say, right now, the fish in the restaurants is brought here from the mainland.
This is the only hostel of Santa Cruz Del Islote. Let's go inside. A peaceful atmosphere is created for the tourists here. It looks like a silent shelter in chaos. Despite this crowd, there is not even a single police that provides security nor a state of law on the island. Since everybody knows each other here, they don't need for it.
Look, we have 800 people here and we have no police. So you don't see robberies, muggings, or stabbings. We live peacefully here.
Our police here are older adults. We respect them so much here. If there is an argument, a misunderstanding, or a fight, the older adults set in and grab us, find out who is right, and then give us advice. Then, we shake hands and keep on being the same brothers and sisters with no hard feelings.
Does he have plans?
No, I like that. I think that's, you know, kind of expected. It's just one big community. Everyone needs to get on. I think the whole idea about like respect your elders, you got a kind of group of elders that you kind of defer to in a difficult situation. That makes a lot of sense to me. I think they've lived there long enough. They kind of know how to overcome most problems, and they're sensible enough so they can like help people get through that as well. So generally, I think that's pretty cool. I mean, the tourists, that hotel, those quick pictures of the hotel, they seem to be very, very isolated, very, very peaceful. Like, they really do value their tourists. They give them a lot of space, a lot of quiet, no muggings, no stabbings, no attempts to like steal anything. So, you know, the tourists seem to be treated incredibly well, which is, you know, I guess it makes sense because their economy runs off them.
Plans to migrate to somewhere else?
I'll spend my entire life on this island. I was born and raised right here. I'm going to die right here.
In the evening, residents are more active and everywhere is more crowded since the weather cools off. When the sun goes down, the island gets completely dark because there isn't electricity at night. People use candles or flashlights of their mobile phones, which are charged during certain hours to brighten the night. Everyone goes outside of their doorsteps because their houses are very tiny and dark. Besides, there is nothing to do inside of the houses. The darkness never prevents the island's vibrant spirit. There's also a little pub where everyone gathers. Most of the locals drink a lot during the night. We hear Latin music all the time. People are singing and dancing together. Some of them play domino, a very popular game here, and the birthday party is still going on. Some of the garbage from this event is already piled up here. Most of these people, living in isolation from the rest of the world, have never left these boundaries in their entire lives. They have no desire to leave their small world or to strive to improve their living standards with each passing day. The island community has a deep bond to their homeland, and they focus on shared happiness and positive values.
The biggest problems of Santa Cruz del Islote are the lack of clean water and insufficient cleaning garbage. Island is not in a position to accommodate more people. Despite all the negatives, people are connected to each other like a big family and are happy. Thank you for watching this documentary. Don't forget to subscribe.
That makes sense. I love that video as well. That's a really cool video. Cleaning fresh water is obviously the main thing. You can't go like 3 days without water, I don't think. And then also all the rubbish that brings like disease, they can't fish because of all the pollution. I mean, that is just like a downward spiral if I've ever seen one. So definitely something that they should probably look into because there's so many of them. They probably can find a solution. I don't see why not. But yeah, nice, great video. I love that very much. Really cool guy to go out there and make this documentary. Really informative. I didn't even know this island existed. So really cool.